Well, good morning guys, I hope you are all okay as per usual. So we are Friday late morning, we are on day 1 of 3, so 3 days coming up, so hopefully going to get those all into one video, we'll see, but there we go. So as you can see, I'm not in a coach, I'm in one of our pool cars, and I am doing a covering for a NatX, NX NatX National Express service, and the first thing I've got to do at this point is drive from our depot here in Nottingham down to Northampton to meet the coach coming in. So that's what I'm doing. I'm off down the motorway in a car, and I'll check back in with you guys soon.
I stopped at Northampton Services just for a quick comfort break, and I happened to be there just exactly the same time as one of these National Blood Bike Services relay handovers. These guys are really cool, they're so amazing. If you don't know about your local blood bike centre, I suggest you look them up. But this was my local guy on the left, Derbyshire, was handing over to, I think, the guy on the right. I didn't quite catch where he was from. So it was just nice to see that, and I'd love to become a blood biker at some point in the future. So check out your local blood bikers.
Well, hi guys, we've made it to Northampton, to the bus stop here that we are taking over from. So we're just a few minutes early, which is good. Plenty of time for him to come in, so we'll let him come in, get it sorted out on the road, and we'll see what happens. Alright, check in with you guys soon. Bye bye. Well guys, as is the way sometimes, we are still here, as you can see, at the bus stop. The coach is currently half an hour late, and he's still not quite here yet. I understand he's not too far away. So yeah, still waiting here. I guess this is one of the problems with doing road transport and doing anything related to anything on the roads in the UK. I mean, it's Friday afternoon, but that's not too bad currently. But anyway, half an hour late, still waiting. Catch up again soon, gang. Oh no, by the way, that wasn't him who just went past in the background. So don't worry. Alright, speak to you soon guys.
So here we are just leaving Heathrow Terminal 5, and to catch you up on what happened, the coach actually came in significantly late at Northampton, so it wasn't appropriate for me to put up the camera, so I didn't worry for the journey down, but I've recorded the journey back. It's in the dark, so there we go. So leaving Heathrow Terminal 5, you can see we're just passing another skills coach there who was doing a ski pickup. Just attempted to beat my horn very lightly, but didn't quite work, but that's fine. So we're leaving Heathrow Terminal 5 here, and we're on our way round to Terminal 2 and 3, which is Heathrow Central Bus Station, for another pickup on the way out. I'm not going to show the whole of the journey up to Northampton. I'm just going to speed through the boring bits on the motorway and then just show you the bits when we're pulling in and out of the stops. I've been told that other drivers use my videos as a bit of a check out where they're going, see what to do, a little bit of route learning sometimes. So that's all cool. I'm more than happy for other drivers to do that. I can't guarantee I necessarily do it right, as you'll find out later in this video. However, in this case, we're going through the Heathrow Tunnel, and so for the benefit of the other drivers and anyone who's listening in who might like to hear a bit like what it's like for us drivers, a bit of insight. The key point here is when you come out the tunnel at the other end here, is you've got to be right over on the right hand side. So that's why I'm in the right hand lane in the tunnel here, because I want to be right over on the right when we come out at the other end. As you'll see, when we come out, we come just up the hill, and then the turn into the actual bus station is off the right hand side, and you don't want to be trying to get across 4 lanes of traffic possibly to get in there, so you'll see it in a second. So up out the tunnel, you can see it splits into 4 lanes here, and we're just going to stick right in this right hand lane. Lights hopefully turn green for us there just as we go. Get the indicator on, and then here is the slip into the bus station. Now there's service buses with this first section on the right, you can see just there, and we go straight across here, this pedestrian crossing. Just be careful, people crossing of course, straight across into the National Express coach station. No one told me I had to go into a particular bay, so I just picked a bay to go into. For this one here, just be a little bit careful here. It looks okay, but it's not an awful lot of space reversing back to get out again, as you'll see in a minute. But choose a bay, and the only thing to bear in mind here again for drivers is that you need your high vis on, and passengers are not allowed past those gates here. You can see the little gate with the no entry there. Passengers are not allowed past there, so you have to both load and unload any luggage and bring it to the front here. So we've loaded a few passengers here, and now we're going to get our way on to the next stop. There's some experience here getting out of these bays. As you'll see, I need a shunt or two just to get out. I suspect the more you do it, the more you get used to knowing exactly how to, just position the vehicle to get out nice and easily. But anyway, we'll get out, and then we're on our way to our first kind of proper stop outside Heathrow, which is Hemel Hempstead. So the normal plan here going in this direction is to come off the M25 at junction 20 where we are here and go off up the A41 which heads north into Hemel Hempstead. As you're about to see in this particular case, I could see from Google Maps there was some traffic and a little bit like an accident just up the A41 here, but I thought I'd just go check it out. And if there was a problem we could just go straight back on the M25 and around the other way. So we come up to the top of the slip here. We go round and I can already see there's lots of brake lights, lots of people stopped up, and I thought, nope, not going to sit in that. Google Maps was suggesting it was slightly quicker to not sit and wait but to go around the other way. So you see we just cut over and then we go back on the M25 and then we go up the M1 and in from the other side, which is the way you would come into this if you were doing it in the other direction, coming down the M1. So that's what we did. So yeah, it's always worth keeping an eye on the traffic on Google Maps when you're on runs, even when you know where you're going, just to keep an eye on what's going on. So anyway, we're going to go back up on M25 and then up around the other way. But you would normally come off here and go up the A41 into Hemel. So this is now the M1 junction 8. It's the A414 that heads in towards Hemel. As I said, if you were coming southbound doing the journey the other way around, you would come off of this junction as well. So this run from here into Hemel is the same in both directions, and we basically just head straight. We're going to turn left here, obviously coming the other way down south you'd turn right, but you're going to head into Hemel and you just literally go straight, go straight across any roundabout, straight across any junctions. Just keep going straight until you hit the magic roundabout. So this is Hemel's Magic Roundabout. If you've never heard or seen a Magic Roundabout before, then I'll come back and explain a little bit more in a second. But first, let me just explain what we're doing here. So we're going to go, because it's evening and there's not much traffic, I thought it's just quicker to go up the main road here and then turn right. So we're going to go past the first roundabout, the second roundabout, we're going to turn right up the main road. And at the first junction, we're going to turn right. Now that's a bus only turn. And takes you into some roads that are bus only, but that's cool. So we just go up here, we take this right hand turn, we've got to get into the actual road where we do the pick up and drop off, and we just do it via a couple of bus roads. So that's nice and easy, as you can see, no problems, especially at night. I'm not sure what it's like during the day. I guess it's a bit more busy during the day, but anyway, we come up here and then we're going to turn right. And the stop we want is this stop up here on the left hand side. Okay, so as we leave here, we're on a kind of pedestrianised bus only section. There's only one way to go at this point, and we're just going up through the shops. I guess, you know, during the day, especially on a Saturday, this will be a very busy area, but at night like this, it's nice and quiet. And we go up here. The key thing to remember for drivers is at this little mini roundabout at the top of here, don't turn right. It feels like that should be the way out, but it's not. So don't turn right at this mini roundabout here. Carry on straight up and go left and left around the block as we're about to do. Okay, so magic roundabouts. If you've never come across a magic roundabout before, there are 3 in the UK. There's this one here in Hemel that you've just seen. Look at this idiot stopping as always, but anyway. This one here in Hemel, there is one in Colchester, and the kind of the biggest one, the one that people tend to know, is the one in Swindon. But they all work the same, and it's called a magic roundabout because it's designed so that you can actually traverse round it the wrong way round. And it's basically a big roundabout made up of lots of little roundabouts, you know, that are not very far apart. So you can effectively go round the big roundabout the wrong way around. Which is, of course, exactly what we did when we came in here, was we went round that roundabout, the big roundabout, the wrong way around. So the only other thing to say for the drivers, again, is so when we came in, when we approached that magic roundabout, we turned right, effectively went straight across the first mini roundabout, and then we turned right at the second mini roundabout. You can actually turn right at that first mini roundabout, and it swings round to the left straight into a bus lane. So if it looks like there's traffic on the main road the way we came this time, you can take that first mini roundabout, come off, go up the bus lane, and it then joins. So when we turned right in the bus only lane off the main road, we then would have gone past the turning on the right that is the other road coming up, if you see what I mean. So it's just the other way around to go if it's busy. But the way out is just to go from the bus stop up the pedestrianised bit, across that first mini roundabout, left, down to the end, left again, and we're now coming back down that main road, and we'll come down to the magic roundabout at the bottom. This time we'll go around the magic roundabout the correct way. We'll go left, we'll go past those 2 mini roundabouts and turn left, and then literally straight back out on the A414 back to the motorway again. So Hemel is nice and easy. M1 junction 10, the A1081, which is the road that goes up to Luton Airport. So we've got 3 stops in Luton: the airport, the centre of town, and then a place called Cholney or Chalney, which is just on the motorway when we go back on again on the other side. But for now we're heading towards the airport. This is nice and easy, just follow the road up to the airport. The only slight tweak is we go across a couple of slip-on, slip-offs here, and then the actual airport road is a slip on the left, so you kind of have to slip off this road. It's signed, but anyway, so you slip off and follow it round up to the airport, and we'll pick up back there in a sec. This is the final run into Luton Airport. It's really quite easy. For any of the studious drivers out there who've checked this out on Google Maps, when you go onto Street View, idiot there, when you go onto Street View, actually right at the very last second, one frame of Street View shows you a bus station that looks like one thing, and the very next frame, as happens sometimes on Google, shows you a completely different looking bus station. So you're not quite sure what you're expecting. However, this is of course what I'm about to show you is the I'm presuming new bus station, and you'll see in a second. So it's quite easy. Look around, feel around, make sure nothing has fallen on the floor. Just make sure you have everything of yours. So short arriving into Luton Airport. So under the little mini bridge, and you want to be in the left hand lane. Take this first left slip here, it does say bus lane, so no probs. Go straight up. And you can see there all the coaches are parked up in bays in front of you. So just obviously go to whichever bay you've got marked down on your paperwork. So that's you know, for the passengers, this kind of what it's like for us drivers, just, you know, kind of knowing what to do and where to go. And last thing for the drivers here is I've found in my experience that most bus stations like this are effectively one way. You have an in and an out. This one is not. You come in and out both in this same area. So when you reverse back off your bay, just remember you got to reverse and turn the other way to what would feel normal, so you can then come back out of this way and then back out basically exactly the way we've come in back to the M1 again if you're going southbound. And if you're going northbound like we are, we're going to head in towards Luton city centre. But anyway, so this is the bay here for Luton Airport. So Luton Airport has a traffic light system. The lady was telling me, so what you do when you're ready to leave is you press the top button on that little panel. That sets the system off. When the green light goes, you pip your horn once, and then you're free to reverse. So that's the system. Obviously you can still keep an eye on vehicles moving around and all that kind of stuff as you'd normally do, but that's how the system works. And if you arrive there and there's no one there to help, there's often, you know, a National Express rep there, but if there's not, there's a big green button on that same panel that releases the gate to allow people to get in and out. Alright, so we're going to pull out of Luton here, and we're going to go make our way down through town to the interchange, which is the main kind of bus and train station area in town. I might as well just leave this to run straight through at real speed, especially helpful for the drivers doing this route. If you're a passenger or you're not interested in seeing the run, you can just fast forward and come back when we get to town, but this is especially useful for the drivers. Some of you may remember the Luton Airport car park fire. I checked the date and it was the 10th of October 2023. A number of vehicles, something like some 1,300, I think they said, vehicles got burnt out, and the partial collapse of the building led to the knocking down of the whole car park area. And that's this area to the right of where we are now, within that green shroud. That was where the car park was, and is currently now being rebuilt. So just for interest's sake, we just skirt around, right around the edge of it, and then we'll be back out onto the road.
And then it's and then it's Milton Keynes, and then Northampton, and then onwards towards Birmingham.
So the route into the town centre here uses a bus lane. So that sign just there on the left was no left and right turn except for buses. And we're going to go up here to these lights, turn left into the bus lane. We have to do this. It's the only way to get into the actual bus station bit here. And the route going back out, so the southbound journey here, the route is exactly the same as what we've just done northbound here. So exactly the same route to get out and to the airport going in the other direction. The only difference here is that the stops are slightly different. So going in this direction, as you're about to see. Yeah, so going in this direction, we have to just do a little left here into the lay-by. Coming the other way, the stop is on the right where that coach is now. So that's a stop for the other way. Going this direction, we do this little left, and it's the first stop up here on the left-hand side for us. Right, so leaving Luton Town Centre here, we're just going to follow out the obvious way. And then we go straight out, and again, this is some more bus lane that we can use. And again, this route is exactly the same route in the other direction. So come this exact way in the other direction where you're going southbound. But so we just got to stop these lights, but we're going to go straight across. And then at the next junction, straight in front of us, is the Luton Dunstable guided busway. I would at some point like to have a go driving a bus down a guided busway. Don't know how that's going to happen, but surely somehow it will. But anyway, we obviously can't use the guided busway, as tempting as it is. So we're going to go down to this next junction and turn right. And then we're going to go up here to the top to this roundabout. At this point, we're now back on just following what I was using, Google Maps, to get us out to the motorway via the last stop that we need. But when you do this route in the other direction, you come round the roundabout. Obviously, you come round the roundabout, you come under the bridge. You can just about see on the right hand side there. Here we come back through the bridge the other way, and this road that we're in currently is a bus only road. So we'll go through that bus only road and then turn left at the junction we just turned right in at, and that will take us then straight up into the bus station for when you are going southbound on the 707. However, so we just go out here now, follow the road out, and then there's a little right and a left, follow Google Maps, and it will take you out to the right place for the last stop, and then onto the motorway. So someone please correct me on my pronunciation. I don't know if this is Chalney or Chalney or possibly something else. However, it's the last stop on the way out of Luton. It's by the Travel Lodge, and it's our last stop before we go back on the motorway and up north. So junction 14 on the M1 for the Milton Keynes coachway, which is literally just off the motorway. It couldn't be any more simple. The only thing to bear in mind here from the driver point of view is that the slip in is actually so quick off this roundabout that you've got to be right over on the left hand side. Just be careful of cars coming up the left if you've come from the other way, and then the turn round into the coachway is quite tight, so don't go too fast, but you'll see. Just another useful driver tip here. When you come up to this end bit here, you can't turn left. I mean, there is no left turn sign there. I just saw, didn't see it, but there's a barrier there anyway. Anyway, so turn right, follow it round here. Now on Google Maps, doesn't think you can turn right at this junction, but you can. So Google Maps, if you're following it, will try and turn you left here, but you can turn right, no problem. You can see the arrows and the lights indicate that you can do so, no problem. So just turn right here, and then you're going to turn right at the roundabout, and then you're back up to the motorway junction. Left down on the M1 if you're going northbound, and obviously over and right and down southbound onto the M1 if you're going the other way. Junction 15 for the A45 up into Northampton. So this is nice and easy. We're obviously going to turn right at this roundabout. If you've come down south, then you'll be turning left, but that's fine. We just got up the A45. I'll let it run, you'll see. Up the A45 to the Queen Eleanor junction, and then we come off and then follow the road into Northampton, and it's literally the first stop up there on the left, you'll see, and it's the same on the other side coming the other way, but you'll see. We are shortly arriving into the first of 3 stops for Northampton. So this first stop is the Queen Eleanor Interchange. I don't think anyone's getting off here, but we're stopping anyway. So the first of 3 stops in Northampton, and then it's off north. This is where I leave you. So hopefully there's a driver here waiting for me, and he will be taking you for the rest of the journey up to Birmingham. So for me, thank you for your company today. I wish you a pleasant evening. I hope you have a safe drive up, and a pleasant evening, whatever you are doing today, and then for the rest of the weekend. So have a good weekend. Shortly arriving into Queen Eleanor. So we come off at the Queen Eleanor turn, and as I said, we just head up the road in toward Northampton, but it's the first stop, you'll see it in a second, is the first stop for Northampton, and this is where we change drivers. So this is where I now disappear off in the car, back up towards the depot, and the other driver will carry on the northbound journey. Now, fast forward a few more days, and I then did the last northbound bit of this journey. So I've added it to the end of this video here. You can finish watching the journey up to Birmingham, Digbeth coach station. But for me tonight, that's me done and off towards home.
Well folks, I hope you can hear me. It is, well, I've no idea what time it is. What is the time? Hang on. 11:15. I'm stopped up, as you can see behind me, at Watford Gap Services northbound. So what a day, man alive. So can't remember what I said and what I didn't say, but the coach came in at Northampton over an hour late, and I've been pretty much that late the entire day. So didn't get a very long break in London, pretty much 45 only, and I also had to sort out the coach for a couple of bits, so didn't really get much chance to stop there, and then back to Northampton, dropped off. The guy was there waiting for me, fortunately, and now I've just stopped for just a quick break here at Watford Gap northbound on the way back to the depot. So I'm going back to the depot and going home, and then starting again tomorrow morning on a rider's job to Manchester. So we'll catch up then. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this in one long video for the whole weekend or if I'm going to split it. We'll see. So just you'll see when whatever comes up next after this cut. So, all right, take care, guys. See you again soon.
So what a lovely sunny day it was a few days later when I picked up the northbound bit of this journey. So there's 3 stops in Northampton. This is the first one here at Queen Eleanor, and then we go not terribly far up the road, to be fair, for the second stop, which is called Far Cotton. I'm assuming this area of Northampton is called Far Cotton. Anyway, the stop is there, and then we head on up towards the city centre. Okay, good morning folks. Hope you're all well. My name is Rob. I'm going to be your driver for the rest of the journey up to Birmingham. First thing to say is that we are just going to be shortly arriving into the next stop, which is not this next stop, Far Cotton. Anyone leaving the coach at this point, please just take a moment to check you have all your stuff with you. Otherwise we'll be onwards to Northampton Victoria Street, and then Coventry, and then Birmingham. Like many city centres, there are different routes to get where you need to get to. This is just my preferred route for doing what we do here. This comes from back in my days when I used to do the Flixbus routes from Nottingham and Derby down to London that went via Northampton. This was just the route that I got into the habit of going. I don't know if it's the best route necessarily. It may depend on the traffic, of course. If you know a different route, then that's perfectly fine. But this is just the route that I use to get in and out of the city centre. Now, depending on the exact time of the 707 run will depend on whether the service stops at Northgate bus station in the centre of town or whether it stops at Victoria Street in the centre of town. It won't stop at both, it will stop at one or the other. So if you're a passenger watching this, make sure you know whether your coach is stopping at the bus station or Victoria Street. For drivers, just check your paperwork and make sure you know which one you're stopping at. And I'll point out, this one stops at Victoria Street, and I'll point out how to get to the bus station as we go past that bit. So as I said, this is just my preferred route. As you can see, this left turn here is no vehicles except buses, whatever it says on those sign details there. It's just a way of cutting up through towards the bus station here. So this is just my preferred route, and you see that us coach drivers can also be nice for our domestic bus service friends, letting that stagecoach out, and also this guy here letting him out as well. So this is the bus station here on the left. It's a one-way system, so you can't turn left there. If you were going to drop off in there, I haven't been in there, so I can't tell you the exact bay, but you would go left at this junction where we're going to go straight across. You go left and then turn left again into the actual bus station itself. So I don't quite know where the bay is, not been in there yet, so that's what you do. But anyway, we carry on across here into what is effectively a big sort of one-way system here. Victoria Street itself is a one-way road. It's one way the other way from here, unfortunately, so we've got to go around the block to get in, just the way they've done it. But anyway, so yeah, this is just the route I would go to get to Victoria Street. Shortly arriving into Northampton Victoria Street. If you are leaving the coach at this point, please take a moment just to check you have all your belongings with you. We won't want you to leave anything on the coach behind you and not get it back again, so please just check you have everything with you. So shortly arriving into Northampton Victoria Street. So again, this is just my preferred route out of Northampton. We've done the 3 stops. We've done Queen Ella, we've done Far Cotton, and we've done the centre of town, either here or the bus station, depending on the timing. And then we're now just out to the M1 and up towards Coventry. So my preferred route is just to go 4500 out to the M1. But again, if you know a different way as a driver, or if a passenger you know a better way, then please let me know, or tell me below what you do in the comments. Be interesting just to compare notes with all these kinds of bits around town and stuff. But anyway, we're going to get out to the motorway, then off north again on our way to Coventry. So I came M1, I then went M45, A45, and then pretty much just followed it that same route straight into Coventry. It's a couple of different road numbers, but effectively just go straight in. And I kept going and kept going and kept going until I hit the Coventry Inner Ring Road, which is here. Now, again, Coventry's a complicated enough city. There may be more than one route in and out. This was just the route that Google Maps took me, the one that seemed the most sensible in order to get to where I needed to get to. Now, Coventry Ring Road, wow, blimey. If you think the Birmingham Inner Ring Road is bad, you want to try the Coventry Inner Ring Road. It's very, very tight for the pull-on and pull-offs, as you'll see as we go around a little bit of it here. You really got to have your wits about you when you are driving on the Coventry Inner Ring Road. So anyway, so if this is the way you've come in on the northbound journey here, then this is the way I went. No problems with it. Just to say, have your wits about you. Really keep an eye on your mirrors and what's going on. These pull-on and pull-offs are really short. Very easy to miss if you're not checking where you're going. But anyway, this is the way I went. And a little bit like Luton, actually, if you check Street View for Coventry Pool Meadow bus station here where we're going to, one bit of Street View gives you one layout of the bus station with the entrances and exits, and a different bit of Google Maps Street View gives you a different layout. So from what it looked like to me, checking out where I was going, it doesn't look like you want this first left turning here, where that coach you might have just seen you just gone, but you'll see as we go around the corner as a left turn into the bus station here. I don't think we want this turn just by the location of the stops for the National Express. It means you'd have to go around and do a really hard tight back on yourself that I just don't think you're supposed to do it. So I opted for just going around here, just going around the other side of the bus station and coming in a super easy entrance that you'll see in a sec. And the stops for us are just up on the left hand side. When we go in, you'll see it. And again, the same, leaving Coventry, there's 2, 3, 4 different routes that Google Maps suggested for getting up towards Birmingham. We're stopping at Birmingham Airport on the way in. So, you know, whichever way you want to go as a driver. I opted for the A45 route. It just looked like the best one to me. I couldn't give you a justification as to necessarily why, but anyway, I opted for the A45 route. And that's the way we went. Now, getting out of Coventry was a little bit more interesting, as you'll see. I'm going to point this one out in detail so it kind of helped the other drivers. So we've just come out the same entrance to Pool Meadow we went into. Turn right, so we're going to go back around that same little block that we did on the way in. Good morning folks, welcome to the passengers who've just joined us here at Coventry. This is National Express 707 service to Birmingham. We've got 2 more stops now. We've got to stop at Birmingham Airport in about 20 or so minutes time, and then into the city centre for Digbeth at the end.
Firstly, apologies to the passengers again just joined for the late running of this service. For me, I only joined Northampton, so I don't quite know why it was late. One of the passengers already on may be able to tell us why it was late, what happened, but for now we're going to keep going. Right, now I'm checking myself now at this point now for the signs, because I really think this is signed very badly. Google Maps was wanting me to do a right. See the sign on the left there says you can go right, but then you come up here, and interestingly, because even though there's a right arrow, it really feels like that is a slip that comes left the other way. It doesn't feel like a slip going in the right direction. It's really very strange. Even though it's signed that you can do it, you know, as a driver, you just think that just feels wrong. And so I kind of just I didn't want to do. I didn't want to risk it. So anyhow, I didn't get the turn, and it meant that I now had to kind of go around a bit of a block to get back out again. And if I'd have gone around that slip, I'd have slipped up onto the inner ring road and would have been able to carry the on journey. So it's just a couple of minutes out of the way. So just again for other drivers, if you do this and you don't miss, or you do miss that slip, or you don't take it, you can get around the block here. It's what I did and back on, but it's okay. So anyway, so we're going to speed up again, A45, and we'll pick up again when we get to Birmingham Airport. So Birmingham Airport is again relatively easy. For any of the coach drivers who've done inter cruises, then it's the same stop. But anyway, you take this little slip, go up to the barrier. Obviously, because we're not a registered National Express coaches, this vehicle, because we're only covering it for another company for a short period, the barrier doesn't automatically open. So you just have to jump out, go around, buzzer, unless you can get the window close enough to the button to press it. But anyway, so she'll let you through, and then you can make your way around to stop H. Again, another tip for the bus drivers here. This really is a stupid design of shelter. They're way too close to the edge of the curb.
If you've got one of the Mercs or any coach that doesn't have parallel opening or cantilever lockers, make sure you stay well out and give yourself plenty of space for the locker open to swing. And again, same as before, there are a couple of different routes Google Maps will suggest for you to get from here into central Birmingham. Again, I opted for the A45 route from where we are straight in, but up to the M6 and across the M6 was another route. Don't particularly like the M6 personally. I think there's too much chance of getting traffic on there. So anyway, I stuck with the A45 and followed the A45 all the way basically right into town. This one's definitely worth talking about. This is, I've checked up on Google Maps, called Bordsley Circus, or possibly Bordersley Circus. Now, I was expecting to go left here, second exit up a road called Coventry Road. But all of a sudden, my Google Maps didn't want me to go that way. It wanted me to go straight across. There was no traffic. There was nothing. You see me looking a little bit confused here, thinking, why on earth am I not going left? But anyway, I tend to just trust Google Maps, and so I cut across and went straight across this cut-through island here. I was wanting to go left, as I say, and all it did was then take me up left, and back again, and back in onto that same road. So I don't quite know why Maps suddenly did that. And if you are following this, then you do want to go left there, not the first exit, because that takes you up onto the not the A45, takes you up onto something called the Bordersley Middle Way. Just checking on Google Maps here. But anyway, there's the second exit off that roundabout, Coventry Road, and it then brings you up onto the road you're going to see in a minute when we've done our little left, and get back in again. shortly arriving into Birmingham Dipbeth for the final destination, just a couple more minutes. So same as before for the last time. Everyone should be off here, so the last stop, so please just take a moment to check you have all your belongings with you. Just have a feel around, make sure nothing's fallen on the floor or dropped down the side of the seats or anything like that. So just make sure you have everything that belongs to you. Again, apologies for the late running of this service. Passenger got off at Birmingham and said there was a problem at Milton Keynes coachway, and the coach was held for a little while. But for any passengers who are catching onward services, I do hope you are able to catch a bus on time. If you're not, then please make sure you go and see National Express and sort it out with them. But shortly arriving into Birmingham, the final stop. Thank you for travelling on this service. So once again, this is another one of those areas where if you look on Google Maps, the street view was done right as the roadworks were taking place, and again, depending on exactly where you are, will show you different road layouts here. But this was the way I opted to go. It is possible you may well another way to get into the bus station, a different way, that's perfectly fine. If you know a better way than I know, please drop a comment below. I'm always keen to learn different ways round, but as you can see, this is now a bus gate, and we're just going to kind of go all the way down here, all the way around the end, and then turn into the bus station at the end. Okay, again, so for the bus drivers, or shall I say for the coach drivers, Birmingham has a gated entry. You just pull up, stop by the gates, and either the display board will tell you which bay to go to, or the security guard, like we got this time, will come out and tell you where to go to. And it also has a traffic light exit system, a bit like Luton Airport. They do the red and green, and you go, when it's green, it's fairly obvious, but anyway, so nonetheless it's like that. So we're just going to swing around here now and then turn into the bus station for the final destination on this 707 service. Whatever, you're right.
Very welcome. 707 skills.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, please. So you're looking for bay 5 or 6? 5 or 6.
Okay.
What are you going to go out?
Dropping and then pretty much going straight away, because I'm running to get back to my depot.
Okay, thank you.
5-6.
Sweet. You're not doing the Heathrow Road? Are you sure?
No, definitely not. I can ring up and check, but I've been told I'm going back to the depot.
Okay, thank you. Just check with the information desk also, please.
Sorry.
Just check with your skill set, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just be on bay 5 or 6.
Okay, 5-6. Thank you. So this is just a little bit of footage from me running dead back now from Birmingham back to our depot, the famous M6 on the north side of Birmingham, as we approach Spaghetti Junction. Just I thought it might make a bit of interesting footage just to do an outro. So that was the National Express 707 service, northbound from Heathrow to Birmingham. It's quite a long run. I think it's timed at about 5.5 hours. And it obviously catches an awful lot of bits of traffic here and there, even outside of rush hour. So it's obviously got to be split into two from a driver's point of view. But nonetheless, that's the route. We're covering it for a little while on behalf of another company. Don't know why, but we're doing it for a little while on behalf of another company. So I'm sure I'll be on it again at some point. And I'm sure I'll do the southbound bit of the north section that we've just done at some point. But anyway, that's it for today's video. If you stuck around to the end, thank you very much indeed. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. And more importantly, please make a comment on this video. It doesn't really matter what you say, it is such, but anything that promotes discussion, but just make a comment please, because the YouTube algorithm likes it, because obviously it's engagement and it likes engagement. So please make some variety of comment, especially if you're a driver and you know some of these places better than I do. Please comment and let me know better routes. As a passenger, let me know what you think. What's it like being a passenger on a coach on a National Express service? Just drop some variety comment. And the other thing is to please go watch another one of my videos straight away. So don't watch anything else, just click on another one of my videos straight away. And again, the algorithm likes that. It knows therefore that you like my content, and it helps push it out to a wider audience. So for me, that's it now, running back to depot and then on the way home. So thanks guys, take care everyone, drive safe, see you soon.